What's up everyone, Mr. Gizmo here. Apologize, a little bit of light behind me, but today I want to talk a little bit about safety. I'm going to be opening up this Schroth Quick Fit Pro. So famous last words is that this should be rather easy to install. So what this thing comes with, see if I can quickly figure it out. I picked the Pro because I do run a HANS device on track. I don't have a full cage, but I do have a hybrid HANS device actually. It's a Simpson Hybrid, which is basically the kind that you can, strap onto yourself around the chest. And it does not require a harness. So the reason that I got the Pro, and the difference, my understanding for the difference between the Pro and just a regular Quick Fit. So you can see that here on the buckle, the shoulder straps actually come inward and buckle in right here in the middle, right? So this is for the Pro, that way that you can put it around your HANS device and it'll actually hold it in nicely. The Quick Fit and the non-Pro version of it actually has these two shoulder straps kind of coming in and sitting, not quite maybe drastically like this, but they sit kind of far apart here. So if you do have a HANS device, it wouldn't really be like held in really well. This thing does have, it looks like an extra opening here if you wanted to do a fifth belt for the crotch area that you would bolt down to the floor. This one doesn't come with it. This is something that will hopefully hold me in a little bit better than just the stock seat belt, the 3-point seat belt. So this is the plastic piece here that actually breaks off in the case of an accident. There's a little bit of an extra, I don't know, like 2-3 inches maybe of a little extra material here that's sitting. And so what that will do in a crash is, instead of you kind of coming in a crash and then evenly going back and then sliding under the seat, this will actually rotate your body so that you're not going to be sliding. So let's take a look at the instructions. Like I said, famous last words, this should just be probably about 15 minutes of work. But let's see what actually happens. So before I go ahead and install this thing, I actually noticed something that kind of freaked me out, but I don't think should be really a problem. So it's actually stitched into the belt itself. So outside of part numbers and whatever else comes on the box and the packing slip and the order slip, what comes kind of printed as a warning or stitched into this, you probably won't be able to see. There's a warning here that basically says this belt is designed and manufactured specifically for use only in BMW E46 4-door limousine, touring 5-door, coupe 2-door, and M3 coupe. But the E36 model, not the E46 model. So I called Schroth. It's already like 3-4 p.m. right now. I'm on the West Coast. They're closed. I called ECS to see if they knew anything about it. They said no, they should, it should work, just go ahead and install it. And even if I do install it and have to return it later, they said they'll take it. So I'll go ahead and go through the installation, but I will call Schroth tomorrow just to confirm. The part number that I have on the packing slip here is the SR18140, which is the Quick Fit Pro for E46 and 3 in black. Dimensions between E36 and E46 are similar, from what I've read from the instructions before I ordered this thing. The points of attachment look like they're in the right places, but kind of a weird label to put on here that it's made for a specific car, not your car, especially when you put your whole life into this device for safety purposes, right? So all right, anyway, so I'm going to go through the installation now. Alright, so starting in the back, you have to remove the seat cushion. Mine was already removed. So the inboard side, so the one closer to the center line of the car, is really easy. So you just literally take this piece, you plug it in, and it's done. Then they recommend that you run it through
your headrest. Go down the front. Again, the inboard side here is this one right here. Plugs in. Boom. Done. The outboard side. So the outboard side has to mount on the E46 coupe. Move this out of the way. It's going to have to mount right here. And this should be a T50 Torx underneath here. So let's pull this cover off and let's mount this on. Alright, so this plastic cover, just pry it off with a screwdriver, whichever way that you can, prying from here, it'll come off, and it will expose the T50 Torx that we need to undo. Now we tighten this, and we torque this guy to 30 foot-pounds. I'm actually not sure that this cap will go back on, because it looks like I might have to like Dremel out a little piece here for it to go back on, but for now I just won't worry about it. Okay, so if my understanding is correct, which I think it is, so this is what the rear seat looks like. This is the side bolster, so follow where the seat belt goes. It goes underneath the side bolster here, and then underneath there, that's fine, underneath there, right here, this is where the attachment point should be for this guy. It's also a T50. I didn't have to remove, you know, the window or anything like that. Just pull it up, literally, and that gives you enough room. Alright, so when the thing comes out, you just put it on top, and then screw the whole thing in. Alright, so that's what this looks like when it is installed. Sticking out right from underneath there. Again, if you want to just unclip it and remove it, you pull on this guy. A little bit of force, but this anchor stays in here permanently. I'm going to just remove this this belt, like I said, disconnect the male from the female, and this guy stays in here also permanently. And then just need to go through the adjustment. Fitted myself in here. I will still have to adjust it. So the main thing to remember is that you want to put the left portion of the belt on first and tighten it, because you know, if it sits up on your stomach, it can crush your internals. Your internals are not made to withstand, you know, 700-800 pounds of force. Your pelvis bones and, you know, the hip bones are. So make sure that this is really, really tight on there. Sitting as low as possible on these bones, the hip bones, before you go ahead and tighten this up and snug this up. So as you can tell, the belt portion is tight. Now for the shoulder straps, if I pull this down all the way, this is still a little bit loose, so the way to adjust that is actually in the back, that crossover that connects to the rear receptacles. So the way I'm going to do this, clip, and then go in the back here. So can you see this? Yeah, so this guy is basically the adjustment for tightening this. This just slides freely back and forth. These are the two connectors in the back, and then to tighten this up a little bit. Quick thing about this guy, again, your 3-point seatbelt stays in the car. Don't mind this is coming off. 3-point seatbelt stays in the car. You can still use it with this, you know, with this attached. Obviously you would remove it if you need to, and the way that you remove this guy, remember, is just unclip. We're back on the street. Very easy. So just fitted this with my Simpson HANS device. It's basically perfect and snug here. Quick note on the Simpson. Let me just take this guy off very quickly. Simpson Hybrid is also meant to work with your 3-point seatbelt. Why? This doesn't really hold it on per se, right? What holds it on is those straps that go around your chest. That's actually what holds it on. So it can be done, or it can be used with your 3-point seatbelt
or the harness, which goes right here. So safety first. As a nice final touch, I got these like quick grips, so they go through the end of the belt and then just snap on there, so it's just easier to grip this and adjust it. So there are 4 of them, one for the shoulder strap, one for the lap belt on each side, so 2 and 2. Really cool.